All right, guys, my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sehan, and I am very, very excited to have a new guest on here, Philip Wilson. And I actually met him at the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles this last weekend. And we have a very mutual friend, and I've been hearing about him for a while, but I just didn't put it all together because Dr. Lucky and him are very good friends and have been for many, many years. So I've been hearing about this guy for a long, long time and used his technology. Absolutely love his technology. Is quite different than anything I've ever experienced before on the sauna level. But we're going to dive a little bit into what saunas do, why we should all have one for home use, and not rely on just having, maybe at the gym or special spa times, but this should be an everyday thing and why. And then we're going to go over some of the benefits as well as the differences between near and infrared, like infrared and far infrared, and the different ones that he even has. But without further ado, I would like to introduce my new friend, Philip Wilson.
Hi there. Nice to be here with you. This is a momentous occasion because there's always a new audience. My first company's name was called Awareness and Health Unlimited, and now my new company is called Momentum 98 Natural Health Store, and then Relax Saunas of Momentum is my Relax Sauna marketing company. So awareness is very, very important. If you're going to be able to have miracles, you need to be aware that you're having a miracle because, every moment can be a miracle. And that's why when I was meditating about 27 years ago, they said momentum. And then they said taking advantage of the moment. Didn't realize momentum came from the word moment. And I said, okay, there's more. And then they said, propelling yourself into greatness. And the relaxed sauna will help you get into the moment. And it's just not living in the moment, but taking advantage of the moment means you're living in the moment and you're listening. So when you're listening, it means you're receptive to an energy. And so when you catch a new wave, because you're listening, you get in front of that wave, and that propels you into greatness. So the relaxed sauna is behind me. I don't know which side. It's my left side, your right side. And when you get into the relaxed sauna, all saunas will do this. They'll activate the parasympathetic. But the more of the frequency, the magic frequency that it took the relaxed sauna 10 years to find out how to create a semiconductor chip to create that exact frequency of light that vibrates with the water molecules. That's a magic frequency. And when you're listening to it, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system and you get into the zone. You get outside of time and space. I have a quasi definition of pain. It's called the awareness of time.
Oh.
And if you think about if you've ever hurried, that's painful. If you're ever worried, that's painful. If you ever waited, that's painful. So when you're in the moment and truly in the moment of the divine, there is no pain because you're in the presence of all that is. And that's the magic, and your monkey mind can't do its thing, and therefore true healing can take place. That's why a lot of us, when we go to sleep, we wake up semi-healed or healed, is because our conscious mind is not interfering with the divine love that's within all of us. And the relaxed sauna activates that. Now, I was reminded a few seconds ago of one of my childhood heroes. I used to read Mad Magazine, and they had a mascot named Alfred E. Newman. And wise as he was, as silly looking as he was wise in that he said, "What? Me? Worry?" Because that's one of the silliest things we can do. Now, being concerned is a very, very healthy spiritual quality. But when we're overly concerned, like when we overeat, we get out of balance. Overly concerned is another name for worried. And so we want to be balanced always. And one of my favorite sayings is being for or against anything locks us into duality, and we're dead once we're locked into duality. And that exiles us from the God consciousness state. So this once again brings me back to the relaxed sauna, because when I'm at conferences, and I've been to 500 conferences in the last 22 years since I've started promoting the relaxed sauna. I've always loved saunas ever since I was 16. First time I ever experienced a sauna, so the invigoration and the attunement, the balance, you're so aligned, and you're sweating like crazy, and you're invigorated. You're totally invigorated, because once you get into the now, then that caffeine energy isn't there. So now true energy from the mitochondria is produced. And that's one of the 5 things that happen when we listen to what Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, said when he said, find me a way to create fever and sweat, and I will cure any disease. Because when you create a fever, and that's what the far infrared saunas do, some more so than others. But the purpose of a far infrared sauna is one thing and one thing only. It's to send off a frequency that vibrates with your water molecules. The relaxed sauna has been tested at 4 universities, 2 in Taiwan, 1 in LA, and 1 in Massachusetts. And they've all measured the exact frequency of the relaxed sauna to be between 4 and 14, 7 and 14 microns. That's the magic frequency. Why? Because everything vibrates. Pythagoras, the great spiritual teacher and father of modern mathematics, said everything vibrates. Water vibrates. Water has a vibration rate. Mammals, birds, humans, we all vibrate. We have that same vibration rate of 9.4 microns. The figure doesn't matter. The main thing is that the water is 8 microns, because we're 99% water. So we're just bags of water, pretty much, with a few minerals to lock us in. And then the divine just somehow creates these human bodies. Wow. But anyway, there's a book called The Science of Far Infrared Therapy by Dr. Toshiba Yamasaki, written in Japan. And she says that when you emit the vibration rate be 7 to 14 microns, that's the magical frequency, the water molecules in your body will vibrate. And that will cause a weakening of the ionic bonds, the hydrogen and the oxygen, and it will help release toxic, poisonous gases and heavy metals from the body. Take what Hippocrates said, find me a way to create fever. The relaxed sauna was tested by this one guy. He published it on reddit.com in February of 2017. He looked at the research on the wooden infrared sauna, said, oh my God, these things are the most fantastic thing in the world. Wow, there's an Amazon sauna for $250, a portable one in a tent. I wonder if that can do what that wooden sauna will do. So he bought one and he tested it. He got in. It raised body temperature 0.5 degrees minimally in 25 minutes. The heart rate variability, and that's the golden way to measure how effective. It's the heart's ability to handle anything. That's called heart rate variability. We had a chiropractor at a conference about 6 months ago. His heart rate variability was 50. He got in the sauna, went down to 30. That's what it does. When he got out, it went up to 136. He couldn't believe it. He said, nothing has even come close to doing this. We also, about 8 years ago, were tested by a guy who had some kind of machine. And he was totally amazed. He says, I've never seen any machine increase that person's energy level like the relaxed sauna did. The relaxed sauna is not your ordinary sauna. It reminds me of the 2008 debates, presidential debates, when someone said, yes, but you're no Jack Kennedy. Yes, but you're not the relaxed sauna. All your saunas are good, but some people can't get it through their head that the relaxed sauna is different. It goes against their grain. But when you get in it, you feel like your grandma's giving you a loving hug. You feel like you're basking in divine love, or you're in the presence of a Qigong master or a great guru. You feel good. You feel loved. And that's really, really important. You also feel like you're on a beach in Hawaii or something like that, or a cross between all four of those things I mentioned. At any rate, we sent the Relax Sauna and 2 other saunas to a Massachusetts college, namely Harvard, MIT Science and Technology Lab. You know, some people have heard of them. And they measured the Relax Sauna and gave back a report and said, yes, your frequency is exactly between 7 and 14 microns, just like Dr. Yamasaki says. The $1,300 sauna was from 1.2 to 6 microns. None of that's between 7 and 14. 8% far infrared ray, 37% mid, and 55% near. And we'll talk about the difference between near and far. The Amazon sauna was from 0.95 microns to 1.32 microns, 100% near infrared. Now, what Harvard MIT said, besides the fact that we had 1/12 the EMF of the $1,300 low EMF full spectrum sauna, we had 1/12 the EMF. They said we had 3.5 and 4.5 times the penetration intensity that the other saunas had. Now, people have wooden saunas, and Rebecca Harder wrote a book called Gastro Girl, Healing the World, 1 colon at a time, that she wrote to give out. It's like about a 300-page book to her clients at her 2 clinics, one a colon hydrotherapy clinic, another hyperbaric oxygen clinic. And she has about 20 pages on far infrared saunas in the page, in the book, and about 8 pages on the Relax Sauna specifically, because for 10 years she was selling wooden saunas. And she just, looked at our sauna and said, gee, I feel sorry for these people, trying to promote that, toaster oven thing. Anyway, we have another one that's silver. So she got in the sauna finally after 10 years and said, oh my gosh, in 3 minutes you could tell the difference. And I have been demonstrating, I've put 150,000 people in the Relax Sauna in the last 22 years. I've seen 30 to 40,000 minor or major miracles of people saying, my pain's gone. 80% of my pain's gone. My pain went from a 10 to a 2, an 8 to a 4, whatever. One guy, his sciatica, he went in for more than 5 minutes. He went in for 15 minutes and sweated. Most people, they have these experiences without sweating or just having a few drips. And his sciatica pain he had for 6.5 weeks, pain 7 to 8, pain constantly, gone in 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And these are the kind of experiences we have. And so if you're a fly on the wall watching these people say these things to me, in a heartbeat, you would say, I don't care how much it costs, I am buying a Relax Sauna. Now, the silver sauna that we have sells for $1,700. And the black tent sauna, and there's the black tent is for your rich Taiwanese. It's got the embroidered logo that you can't see. It's twice as thick as the silver sauna, the same radiator. So you're not sacrificing your health by getting the silver sauna. If money is an issue, definitely get the silver sauna. If you love the way the black sauna looks, you have a high-end spa, it's probably worth at least $300 or $400 more, but it's $600 more. And if you have a lot of money, get it, because I used to get colored staples and pay 7 times more than silver staples because it brought me joy. And if it brings you joy, then that's a good enough reason, to do anything. So basically, we've got you've got the portable saunas. Now, this guy from Reddit.com I was talking about, he said, this is terrible. The $250 sauna didn't do dork. He got a $500 sauna reputed to be one of the best. Same results. Then he got a Relax Sauna. We didn't increase body temperature 0.5 degree. We increased body temperature 2.9 degrees in 25 minutes. But the heart rate variability increase was so dramatic that it put to shame the results on the wooden infrared sauna that they did the research on. And it's like we have like 4 people in Southern California and LA who go into houses. They make a living testing the houses to make sure they're safe EMF wise. They all own Relax saunas. Dr. Yamasaki said far infrared energy between 7 and 14 microns that antidotes the negative effects of these horrible microwave devices called cell phones. And so I tell people, if you have been damaged by EMF, one of the best things you could do is buy yourself a relaxed sauna, because that will antidote the negative effects of EMF. As a matter of fact, there's a guy in Oklahoma, he has tested 14 different EMF protecting devices, and he said the relaxed sauna radiator works better than all of them, because the 7 to 14 micron frequency is almost the frequency of that which you are. And that's why when you emit this frequency on you, you don't notice it's not you, because it's the same energy as you. It's like in astrology, it's conjunct. It's the same frequency as you. And so it's soft and loving, and it absorbs and penetrates. And it penetrates, far infrared penetrates 1 3/4 to 2 inches. Now, near infrared is good for the skin, but far infrared penetrates 2 inches, not 2 millimeters. And so, the near infrared and the red doesn't penetrate much at all, a little bit. Again, and the near and the red don't go through the skin, but the far infrared does. What does far infrared energy feel like? Go out into the hot sun, close your eyes, and you'll feel that wonderful, incredible, searing warmth to the core. That's the far infrared energy. The far infrared light from the sun goes through the sand and resonates with the water in turtle eggs. And that activates the embryo to grow into a turtle. So that's a little bit about far infrared ray. There's some people who say that near infrared penetrates more. No, the near infrared laser, single frequency, can penetrate 9 inches. That's a different technology. But a near infrared light bulb, like the ones that Kellogg used to use in the sanitariums, they were moderately effective, but not enough to make it worthwhile for people to continue, because at that time people would burn themselves on the extreme heat. And so it fell out of disfavor. But Dr. Sherry Rogers wrote a book that spawned the industry called Detoxify or Die in 2001. And she was an environmental medical doctor. And people were left to dead by the medical establishment. I'm sure you've never heard of that before. And they had environmental concerns and multi-chemical sensitivities. And they all got in the relaxed sauna. I mean, not the relaxed sauna, far infrared saunas. And she brought them back to being healthy, functioning individuals, and wrote the book, Detoxify or Die. She's the one that mentions that we are far infrared light beings. We shine between 3 and 50 microns, mainly 9.4 microns. And so the reason the relaxed sauna works better than the other, now the pretty much the best portable sauna besides us sells for $1,300. They had 8% far infrared ray. And the heart rate variability, when we tested them in a laboratory in Chicago, they couldn't come close to us. The relaxed sauna significantly increases the heart rate variability. The Mayo Clinic recommended far infrared saunas in 2004. They said, if you're a heart patient, don't go into a hot tub, don't go into a regular Finnish sauna, because the heart will have to race to find an equilibrium between your body's temperature and the outside temperature, because those work with heat. This is an energy medicine device. A far infrared sauna is not a sauna. A prairie dog is not a dog. Really, it's not. And if that doesn't convince you, a sea lion is not a lion. Okay? And a sea horse is not a horse. But yeah.
I can tell you, we have in the past had it with the wooden infrared sauna, and I was introduced to it with Dr. Lucky when I was dealing with my cancer situation back in 2016. And I mean, it was a pivotal part of my reversal. And I also don't like to say the C word as far as what happened in the last 4 years, because they've take my channel down over saying that word. But what I was told and what was explained to me is, when you do raise the fever, when you're dealing with the virus, whatever that situation is,
right.
It's basically, instead of the multiplication, it's like when you have the virus, will like multiply like a Xerox machine within the body. But if you can raise and increase the frequency and or temperature of the body, it basically turns off the Xerox machine. And
Exactly.
so we were seeing a lot of people, get very well. In my situation, what I'm seeing is, because everything is in the water these days, so much is in the food these days, it's in the very air these days. I don't see how you cannot have something like this at your disposal on a regular basis, because detoxing is so crucial to making sure your body is clear and that you can, have this vessel working at its optimal level. When it's totally bombarded by not just radiation that you were talking about, but the chemtrails in the water, the air, the stuff in the food. I mean, we're just subjected to so many different things constantly that it is a part of everyday maintenance these days. I know a lot of people who literally do this every day or every other day, or it's just part of their nightly routine or their morning routine. I prefer doing it at night before bed because it does really relax me. I mean, that's why you call it relax.
Yeah, it took me
Takes
8 years to realize why they called it relax.
Yeah. So, I mean, to get out of fight or flight, no matter what the situation, to get in that presence or be present, meaning you're not in the future or the past, but you're actually in the now. And there's a lot to the physiology of the body when we are in the now, just helping us to calm down, have, muscular circulation, definitely helps with cleansing of the chemicals, the heavy metals, helps with immunity and boost immunity, helps with circulation, helps with the lymphatic system. I mean, we could go on and on and on about all the benefits of it. What are you seeing as far as the main difference between the black and the red? Is just the color and the thickness? I mean, can you go into
Yeah.
also like the silver? Can you explain, because there's silver in it as well, and there's a lot of benefits to
So
that.
there's silver on the inside of the black sauna, and the other one's a silver on the outside and light blue on the inside. Far infrared goes through clothes. Okay, we already know that because we can feel when we go out into a hot sun. What a lot of people don't realize, that far infrared light is invisible. It's thermal, and it's, even though it's invisible, it's reflected by a mirror. So that's a hard one. But when you go in the relaxed sauna and you feel this incredible warmth coming from the back and the lower spine, you say, well, I guess it really does. It is reflected by a mirror, and it's a light. So the speed of light, they say, is 186,000 miles per second. So, and we all know you can't have absolute zero, so we can't have absolute 180 degrees. So the two radiators, they sit in front. You can't see them on the bottom of the yellow towel. They're right below that, and they shoot off the frequency of light that hits the back wall and bounces. And because if it's 179.9 degrees, if it's going 3 miles an hour, it'll take forever to, but because it goes 186,000 miles per second, the whole inside of the tent is an invisible light box and very bright. And because we give you the 7 to 14 micron frequency, 100%, I don't know a portable sauna that gives you more than 8%. And I imagine some of the wooden saunas will give you 20%, 50%. The relaxed sauna, is like priceless, MasterCard, but basically the relaxed sauna is probably worth at least $20,000. It's worth 3 times more than any 7,000, 8,000 wooden infrared sauna because of the therapeutic value. So the more the active ingredient, that's like Dr. Lucky is actually, when he bought his sauna, he couldn't believe. He felt this energy and he said, I got to have one of these. And
They are intense. They're amazing. I mean, and they're fast. It's so much faster getting it ready and prepared than some of the other ones where half the time in the past I would put it on and then it has to go 40 minutes or whatever to even get halfway warm. And then by then I forgot about it and, it's got to start over. It turns off automatically, and I'm like, it could take all day and I don't even get it done. But it does feel like a hug. It absolutely does feel like a hug. And you don't need a lot of space for it, like you would with a wooden. And I mean, you could just stick it in an extra bedroom or something that's really small, very easy to get in, very affordable. I mean, the investment for $1,700, that could save you who knows what kind of stuff in the future for your health benefits. I mean, you don't know what you're saving yourself from by just investing that, and you and your entire family, not just yourself, but everyone in your family. And it's portable.
Yeah.
So if you go travel somewhere, you could bring it with you super easy. You could, you know, if you do retreats or conferences, or if you're just going to grandma's or your mom's or, you know, wherever, you can just bring it over there and let them use it, you know, or, you know, use it yourself because you're on vacation and not miss getting your, you know, your support while you're away. So, I mean, it's a no brainer for me to get involved in this. And honestly, everyone who's sitting here watching this, far and near, literally, you should all have one. This is like, especially in the day and age that we're in, home use, instead of going to a gym or doing whatever, this is your own personal frequency machine, energy machine that you can have to have maintenance and preventative for support for your whole family, and only for $1,700. Now, anyone who is doing this, I know we're doing a little special deal here too, and it does help support me being able to keep content and do things. So I do, you know, suggest that people please support what we're doing, because honestly, this is my job, is to get education out, to keep people informed, and to be on the cusp of, you know, what's on the up and up of whatever's going on in the entire world, literally, with geopolitics, science, spirituality, all of the above, and the bridge between all of them. And so you're, you know, hitting that link and using that to support us really does go a long way. But what exactly are you, I mean, I know you mentioned some of the testimonies. I
Yeah.
have my own, but
Yeah.
what are some ones that really stick out to you?
Well, we have 5 cancer clinics that sell the Relax Sauna to their patients and recommend they use them while at the clinic and when they go home. We have about 20 on YouTube. We have about 950 video testimonials. If you go to the Relax Sauna testimonials, click on the Relax Sauna page, go to the videos, and put in Lyme, for example, there's 20 different people saying my symptoms went away. Do chronic pain, do neuropathy, fibromyalgia,
Mm.
even when a woman has menstrual cramps, one in 5 minutes, gone. I mean, in 5 to 7 minutes, 50% to 100% of your pain will be gone every time without sweating with your clothes on. Absolutely. You can feel it in 3 to 5 minutes. Like you said, it takes 30 seconds to preheat, not 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes. Now, Rebecca Harder, in her book, Gastrogirl, says if you want the same thing you said, if you want to feel fantastic in the 21st century, a far infrared sauna is an absolute necessity. Now, the wooden saunas, were good, you know, up until the 60s, but the world has become so toxic. And I was at a baseball conference yesterday, and this one guy who's had the sauna for about a month was saying the sweat that comes out of the relaxed sauna is so thick, it's not watery sweat. If you go into a wooden sauna at the gym, that sweat is sort of watery. It's got 2% toxins. 17% of the sweat in a far infrared sauna is toxins. It is thick. And I remember once one August, I was lying out in the sun and started sweating. I said, God, that's thin, because I'm used to having the very viscous sweat come out of me, because that's how you feel so good. It's so detoxifying. And we had a lady, Karen Russell, back in 2007. For 30 months, her blood reports came heavy metals of lead and mercury, way off the charts. She talked to Doris Rapp, who wrote the book, Our Toxic World. She said, go see Phil. She got a sauna. Within 2 months, her blood report came back normal with lead and mercury for the first time. And she said she lost 67% of her cellulite. Her skin was radiant. It was no longer dry. And that she is a gerontologist. This is one of the most important things that she offers to her clients in her toolkit. And that's what you referred to. It's a toolkit. Whenever, you know, I've talked to some families, they've had this for 8-10 years. Their kids are 8. they can't imagine not having a far infrared sauna in your home. Can you imagine not having a stove and a refrigerator in your home? Well, that's the reality. If you don't have a far infrared sauna in your home, that's like being in the Stone Age. That's equivalent of thinking what it would like not to have a refrigerator or a stove, because this is so essential. You like make America healthy again, make you healthy again. A far infrared sauna, any far infrared sauna is going to be good. If you live 5 miles from a grocery store and someone gives you a bicycle, you're going to be telling everyone how great bicycles are, until someone gives you a Mercedes, and then you're going to say, I can take the groceries home back too now. And so the relaxed sauna, because it gives you, see, it's like there's a detox specialist in Las Vegas. She gave away her $1,300 sauna. She gave away her higher dose blanket because they didn't detoxify her as much, but more importantly, they left her de-energized. And she says, I'm 52. I love the fact that the relaxed sauna gets me so detoxed, but it also, I feel so rejuvenated by it. There's a big difference. Like if you buy a B12, a B supplement or a C supplement or zinc, they're different doses. If you buy a sauna, ask them what percentage of the 7 to 14 micron frequency that Dr. Yamasaki talks about that resonates with your water molecules do you have? See, near infrared works with the proteins. Near infrared works with is phototonic. It's photobiomodulation. Far infrared is oscillatory. It's vibration. It works with the water. See, and water is all over the world. The near infrared works with the protein. They're totally different animals. They have totally different functions. They're both good. They work well together. But if you're going to do a far infrared sauna for sweating, the more far infrared you have in your sauna, that's what gets the job done. The near infrared, without being the laser, is sort of impotent. The $100 extra they charge for the red light in the saunas is it's not a joke, but it really isn't enough to really make an impact. If you want red light therapy, buy a real red light therapy lamp or bed. Okay, that's a good technology. We go to ozone conferences. We go to microcurrent technology conferences. There's PEMF. There's ozone. There's hyperbaric oxygen. We go to those conferences. There's cryotherapy. We go to those conferences. Contrast therapy. What's the thing you do as soon as you go into a sauna in Finland? You jump in the lake. That's a healthy thing to do. I'm a wussy, so I don't like cold. I go into a hot shower afterwards. But if you want to go into a cold shower, you'll probably get a lot of benefit from that as well. There's a lot of things that we can do to better our health. I opened up a health food store in 1980. I sold to 1,100 different health food stores and health professionals, massage tools and cutting edge products. I was selling chlorine dioxide back in 88. I was selling medicinal mushrooms in 80, Chinese herbal combinations in 84, essential oils in 86, green powders in 84, way ahead of the times. I had a degree in mathematics, an honors degree in mathematics. I was second, third, and fourth in the state of Indiana on national math exams in high school and college. So, but I didn't give it all up. I had an out-of-body experience, and I lost interest in doing math. This is more fun, having realizations about how to become more free. And so that's why I got into the tonic herbs, how to be creative all the time. You can't do that, but you want to be able to accept the fact that you're not creative. And then when you do that, then when that rhythm comes, you can ride that wave. Okay. So the wanting to be tuned in and balanced, that's freedom. And the relaxed sauna is an incredible spiritual tool. It's a spiritual sauna. It's a sauna that I've got 15 testimonies. One lady's heart chakra opened. We had one person had an out-of-body experience in it. I didn't get that one recorded, but it's not scary. You just feel warm and loved, and it gets you to if you meditate, it gets you that sweet spot in half the time. It's like you go in for 5 to 7 minutes without even trying to sweat with your clothes on, and that in itself is an incredible experience. We had a lady from Detroit 13 years ago. She got a flu shot, and she had shooting pain in her feet for 13 years. In 10 minutes, it stopped being in the relaxed sauna, and a month and a half later, she didn't need a wheelchair. Now,
Wow.
we got a couple of years ago, these nurses got the V shot, okay, and they were instantly injured. And what happened is they got in the relaxed sauna, both of them, and they both cried because they had feeling in their fingers for the first time in 2.5 years. They could
Wow.
feel the circulation in their leg from the foot to the hip for the first time. And these are the kind of miracles we have. Dr. Brian Artis, Dr. Judy Mikovits, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Dr. Carrie Madej, Dr. Paul Thomas, Dr. Robert O. Young, Dr. Sandra Michael, and many others, Dr. Christian Northrup, have all bought the relaxed saunas, okay? And they promote it, and a lot of them promote it and say it's the best sauna out there. And so Dr. Klinghardt, he is the one who introduced the dangers of EMF to the Western world. His partner was at a conference. She had elbow pain for a year. They couldn't get rid of it. And they know all the techniques. And they took the sauna up to the hotel room, and in one session, it was gone. And she said, no, the EMF doesn't bother me. The relaxed sauna is special because it's got the exact wavelength. It took the relaxed sauna company in Taiwan. It's not made in China. It's made in Taiwan. It took them 10 years from 1987 to 1997 to find a way to give you an energy that was like the hot springs in southern Japan where people would go for healing. There's a frequency around there. It's far infrared ray. And so, it's like being able to, for 20 years, I've been, knocking on doors. And again, I was at a nutritional conference for doctors. 4 different doctors had wooden saunas in their home, just like you, and didn't use them. I said, well, why don't you get a relaxed sauna? I said, yeah, I love the relaxed sauna. Why don't you get it? And they said, well, I already have a wooden sauna. Remember I told you? I said, do you use it? They said, no. I told you I'd never use it. Then why don't you get a relaxed sauna? I told you I already have a sauna. Well, these 4 doctors were wise. They saw that this was a ridiculous argument. They all bought saunas from me.
Use them too, probably. Yes. Well, I'm really excited to partner with you because I very rarely partner with other people and or other products unless I can actually get behind it. I test everything. I'm kind of uber geeky when it comes to testing things out, and I know without a doubt that this tests really well because I've used it since 2016.
Yeah,
Almost 10 years. That's a long time.
that's a long time.
Yes. And so I know for a fact I can put my stamp of approval on it. And I know Dr. Lucky, and you mentioned all the other doctors that are also putting that stamp of approval. If you guys are watching and this is something that you are interested in for your home, your children, your parents, your family, your community, you can even go in together and get one and just share it or whatever the situation. But I really do believe that this is kind of a no-brainer and needing this and requiring this, not just again for physical, not just for the chemical and the heavy metals, but for the spiritual, for the consciousness, to bring you back into that present and to get you out of fight or flight. Most of I would say 86% of all physical issues are because of emotions. When people are in fight or flight, and there's so much drama going on in the planet right now that people tend to live and marinate in cortisol on a regular basis. This is a way where you can actually take a recess from the cortisol and get your body back reset to literally relax and rest your body to do the normal things, to restore, to have that glymphatic and lymphatic response to clear out what needs to be cleared out, to get that circulation. And I do live blood analysis, and we've seen before and after with live blood. It does affect the cells. It affects the mitochondria. It affects the ATP in your body. There's so many benefits from this that, again, for $1,700, I don't see how you could not invest in something like this. So I am going to have all the links up here, and for anybody to check that out. And there's a discount too, right? Aren't we doing something? Is it $100 off?
Yes.
I mean, so really it's only $1,600, and that's kind of a big deal. I want you guys to check these out. Is it $1,600 with the 100, or is it an additional?
It's 1,700 minus 100 is 1,600. There's no tax, but there is 50 shipping in the U.S. Yeah,
that's just amazing. And do you ship overseas as well?
Yeah, like we can ship you if you live in France or Spain or England or Australia. We charge $400 shipping. We ship you from Taiwan the 220 volt currency and the plug that your country uses.
Okay.
We have them special made, and it takes about a week and a half to be received.
Does this have to go 220, or how does it? What is the voltage on
No,
every?
110. This is just, it'll fit every plug in your home.
That's amazing.
We do them in hotels. We just use the wall plugs.
That's amazing.
They're about 9 amps. You can put 2 of them on a 20 amp circuit. It's the same, wattage as a hairdryer.
That's amazing. Yeah, because we had to have special everything switched when we had our wooden one. And again, portable, easy to take around. I'm going to have this at our retreat. Laura and I do a retreat a couple times a year, and I'm going to bring it to the retreat when we do our next few retreats so people can test it out. But yeah, thank you so much for your expertise.
A lot of people like the fact that the head sticks out. I like to say we're pro-choice. We give you the choice to put your head in or out. The chair comes with it. There is a folding chair that comes with it. It comes in a box that looks like the same size as a suitcase. It will fit in a suitcase if you get one that's 21 inches wide. And it's very travel friendly, and you're not paying no other sauna. If you travel with it, they have to pay $150 oversized fee. The relaxed sauna fits in a suitcase. There's no oversized fee. You can use a hotel chair and just take, it's like 18 pounds in the carrying case. The carrying case easily fits in a suitcase. And if anyone wants to nip a cold or a flu in the bud, you go in for 5-7 minutes. And if you're an athlete, 7 minutes before a workout and 20 minutes after a workout. Or anyone, like I met this lady in Phoenix a couple months ago. She bought a sauna from us 3 years ago. She had a real health problem that had fixed up. And then she says, I use it 20 minutes every night and 10 minutes every morning. I use it 20 minutes every morning. I miss a couple days a month. I've been in it over 8,000 times. I've been using it for 22 years. And I'll use it 10 minutes at night 2 or 3 times. And sometimes I'll get in for 5-7 minutes in the day, just to, like a power nap.
Yeah.
If you ever get chills, asthma attack or anything, it's a cure-all. It's a panacea. It's definitely a panacea.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you so much. And if anybody knows their stuff, you definitely do.
They can use your code at relaxsaunas.com. Relaxsaunas.com. That's the website. And then they use your code, or they can use your link.
Yes, my code is Dr. Sharnael. It's DrSharnael. Make sure it's AEL. But yeah, we'll have all the links up here, and or get that $100 off with my code Dr. Sharnael. And thank you again. I'm so happy to finally meet the man.
Yeah, right. And then to know that the Dr. Lucky is actually on one of our brochures, and then that's who introduced you to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, when they get in the sauna, they're surprised because they've been in lots of saunas and none of them feel this good.
Yeah.
And once you get in the relaxed sauna, see, that's my thing. Once you get in the relaxed sauna, you're not going to be satisfied with any other sauna.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, when he actually came up to my table and we started talking, and I knew he was down there, and I had seen him in it, with the sauna, and he handed me a flyer, and we just got to talking, and I mentioned Dr. Lucky, and I said, yeah, my doctor uses it, and I've been using his for 10 years or whatever. And then he's like, oh, it's on the flyer, and here I had the flyer in my hand and didn't even look down and see it was Dr. Lucky on the flyer. So yeah, it's a small world, and here we are.
It was our lucky day. It was our lucky day.
Was all the way in Los Angeles, and it looks like we have a couple of other meetings. We're probably going to be running into each other in multiple cities in the future. So I look forward to that. But you guys do me a favor, hit the like, comment, tell me where you're from, and share this, because you have no idea who would be interested in something like this to invest in their family. I mean, this is something that's truly a very good investment for anyone to have, no matter where you live and no matter what you're doing. This is something that can help you and your entire family. So click the links, share away. I look forward to working with you all out there when you order. And if you have any questions, you can send those too. And you guys make today great. We'll talk soon. And thank you again, Phil. Appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. This will transform their house into a home, because where there's a home, there's a hearth, a place of warmth.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Thank you.